All right, I'm going to combine a few different things into one video today, but this is just a learning video. We're going to take this, and this is a Greenworks commercial chainsaw, but it's their small 16-inch one, and this happens to be a 48 volt, but it's almost identical to their 82CS27, which is the 82 volt. And what we're going to do here, you can use on a variety of that generation of chainsaws, because they all use this AO41 or KO41 tail mount. So we're going to swap the bar and chain, but we're also going to swap the rim sprocket. And this is a wearable part. It does wear out, and when we change it out, I'm going to recommend, and I'll put the part number in the description, but I'm going to recommend upgrading to this part. I think there's almost no cost difference. This is like 12 or 16 bucks. And what's on there is a spur, and this is a rim sprocket, and it's basically better in every way. And you can change from 3/8 to 325. So this comes with a 325 bar and chain. And you loosen these screws. They're captured nuts, which I'm a big fan of that, and Greenworks is pretty good about utilizing captured nuts on most of their stuff. But when you change bar and chain, if you change from 3/8 low profile to 325 low profile or anything like that, you have to change not just the bar, but you have to change the drive to match, right? So this is set up with a 3/8 low profile spur. This is a 3/8 low profile bar and chain. So the bar thickness is 0.043. Now this is all pretty easy to do, but there's just little details that you can trip up on. So you got to make sure you got every detail right. The bar thickness, the bar thickness, the gauge of the chain, the tailstock, and then the drive, either 3/8 or 325 low profile, is different. So one of the things that can catch you is you can use 325 low profile chain on a 325 sprocket, but you can't use 325 chain on a 325 low profile sprocket or spur. Just a little detail. But anyway, there's a little clip, right? And it's different on some of the saws. Some of them, there's actually a little spring. This one has a little spring. I have to go grab a different screwdriver. And I'll bring it right up for you to see. But this is coiled around here. And there's a flat spot. And that's where we're going to reach in with a screwdriver and pry it away to peel it away. And I don't know how well you can see, but that's what we're going to do. Hopefully you can see from here. You try to find where the break is, and you go near that. And I'm just going to peel that up, and now it's up. And I'll get under it and keep peeling it, and then it comes off very easily from there. I'm not a big fan of that. It's kind of a pain in the butt, actually. Come on. Whoop. You got to keep peeling it around, and then this retainer comes off, and I'll show you again up close. I kind of coiled it out, but I'm replacing it with an E-clip, so I don't care as much about saving it. So this is the spur sprocket that comes with it, and that just, you have to pull it out. This one seems to be coming out kind of difficultly. Come on. But as you can see, this is not changeable, where this, you can replace this with different sizes. So that's a lot more user-friendly. But diameter-wise, they're the same. They're the same thickness this way. So this is going to work just fine. And this piece here that we're putting on, that's what the That's what the chain brake grabs. There's a coil around here, and when you push that forward, it clamps on it. So I'll get on here. All right, and we'll put that rim sprocket on, and then we'll put the retainer clip on, which this is an assembly, what I bought, and then this can just go down on there and retain it. And I'll push it with that. Come on. Alright. So now that E-clip's holding that on, it can't come off. And this is a 325, so it's matched to this 325 bar that I'm replacing the other bar with, right? And if this was dirty, we would blow the old bar out, but this is a brand new bar and it's clean. So this chain that I'm putting on here, this is 325 low profile, so it's 0.043, and it's all coiled up. Hold on. A little bit of messing around there. It's a semi chisel. This particular brand is a Frostbite. It does not have the safety bumpers on it. And I'm going to tell you from my experience that this 325 low profile chain is a vast improvement over the 3/8 low profile. It cuts quicker, it cuts smoother, and I want to say it's you know, it's significant. It's like, we're going to say like maybe 30% faster, so you're going to get more runtime and more cuts on the same amount of battery. It's pretty sweet. Let's see if we can line that up. Now, one of the things with the rim sprocket, because the rim sprocket can slide a little bit, you got to be extra careful to make sure that you land the chain in the rim sprocket, because sometimes it can lay outside of it. So that is the one drawback of a rim sprocket, where that won't happen with the spur sprocket. But we got that on kind of just finger tight. Now you can see that the chain is sagging, so I'm going to tighten this up until I see the bar start to pick up. And a lot of guys like to pick the bar up and then tighten it. I got mixed feelings on that, but you can do that. And now that's pretty tight. That's actually probably a little too tight, but it's a new chain and it will loosen up. So I got that on, and then I'll finally tighten those two captured nuts last. And now it is pretty tight, and we'll just make sure, because that happens a lot, and that's why I always like to do that before I actually put a battery in and pull the trigger, right? So there was a tooth that wasn't quite in that thing right. So I'll loosen these captured nuts back up just enough to pick up the slack. Pick it up again. And try that again. Give it a little tighten. And then tighten our captured nuts. And I'll give it one more shot. Chain brake works solidly. And that's it. We now have the 325 low profile in the Frostbite chain on the 16-inch bar. And this will cut faster, and you will get more cuts out of your battery. You have a fresh bar. You have a rim sprocket, so if you ever want to switch back to this setup, you can easily, or if you burn up your rim sprocket, rather than having to replace the entire piece, you can just buy another rim sprocket. Where these, you know, it's a wearable part, you'd have to replace the whole thing. Now you can just replace the rim sprocket itself. So there we are. Ooh, look at that. That fell out. And that goes in between. I have to take this back apart and reinstall that. So there you go. There's a little extra little tidbit for you. I hope that's useful. I'll put that in. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.